Hello, everyone, and welcome to an episode of the Gridiron Glory where Tad and Will cover the NFL, the 32 teams, and we have a week 3 recap today with the Chicago Bears going on the road and facing the Colts, with the Colts coming away with a 21-16 victory behind a very strong running game led by Jonathan Taylor, who had 23 attempts for 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, also a 25-yard reception for Taylor. So he was the leader of this offense in the day and led to 2 of the 3 touchdowns, with Trey Sermon, the other running back, also having a touchdown run in there as well. So heavy day for the Colts rush game. Anthony Richardson, he had an interesting game. 10 of 20, 167 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So not the most productive game for Richardson, who's having an up and down season, to say the least. He's had some good moments and he's had some not so good moments as well. Only sacked 1 time, so a strong look for the offensive line. But Anthony Richardson, in his second year, it's clear that some more development is needed by Anthony Richardson. And I'd ask, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, you get the win, right? You get the win, but no touchdowns, the 2 picks. I mean, it's awesome that you do have a guy like Jonathan Taylor to kind of bail you out, right? In this instance, in this scenario. So awesome for Anthony Richardson when you do have a guy like Jonathan Taylor to go out there and win you a game against another quarterback and another team. I mean, a rematch of the 2006 Super Bowl. Both these franchises are in completely different states these days. I mean, far from that, far from the Devin Hester days, far from the Peyton Manning days. Yeah, it's tough for both of these teams. I mean, Caleb Williams, I will say still more impressed with Caleb versus kind of how I was even with Bryce Young. I don't mean to bash on Bryce Young so much, but I am still more impressed with Caleb versus Bryce last year. In that context, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's only 3 games, but Chicago's offensive line also isn't that good. I mean, let's get clear. Their offensive line also is bad. Anthony Richardson only got sacked 1 time. And when you have a guy like Jonathan Taylor, obviously, I mean, he's got one of the best offensive lines in the league. Yeah, there's no, I've no concern or worries with the Colts offensive line. I am concerned with Anthony Richardson just a little bit. And yeah, he is still developing and he will get there. Maybe. I mean, it's up to him at this point. I mean, he's kind of in control of his own destiny in that sense. So when it comes to Caleb Williams, though, it's just, you kind of had some big plays, like you had that big explosive play to Odunze, which then got negated, a couple of plays later on the interception. So just some head scratching moments that you're seeing from Caleb Williams, but he's a rookie and he's developing still. And yeah, just overall from this football game, I guess my biggest takeaway on it was, just both these teams are just trying to figure out how to rebuild themselves. And it was kind of just not a super flashy game on paper, but a really good win for the Colts at home. A win that they probably needed. Because, I mean, it's going to be a very tough AFC playoff race. And, I mean, wins like this are going to be the wins that you're going to need to get. So they did that. So very mad props to the Indianapolis Colts. They win 21-16. Did you have any final thoughts or takes on this game?
I did, in fact. I do want to talk some on Chicago. for Caleb Williams, he did lose, but he looked a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable. Made a lot of the big plays, and you certainly saw a lot of the potential. His first touchdown pass, the first touchdown catch by Odunze, the rookie out of Washington. So you certainly saw some of the potential with Chicago, even in a losing effort, and that shouldn't get lost as well.
No, it definitely should not. So, yeah, there you guys have it. The Colts win this one 21-16. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Comment down below. This has been another great episode of The Gridiron Glory.